why Indian ex-Muslims formed a movement defending secularism. In the southern state of Kerala, India, the ex-Muslims of Kerala, or EMU for short, a group formed by individuals who've left Islam, is defending secularism and supporting those facing serious social repercussions associated with abandoning the religion. Founded in 2019, the organization's members hail from diverse backgrounds, each with unique reasons for leaving Islam, ranging from stifled curiosity and issues of gender inequality to the tension between faith and scientific understanding. EMU President, big apologies for butchering this name, uh, Liyakkathali, Liyakkathali CM recounts his own experiences, saying, quote, "They tell us such questions about God are planted by the devil. I was once beaten for a genuine doubt. This is when I began to study my religion on my own." Yet, with the rise of far-right Hindu nationalism, the group find itself navigating the delicate issue of Islamophobia. Amid rising anti Muslim sentiment, they strive to differentiate between the criticism of Islam and hatred towards Muslims. As Lilac declared, you cannot violate basic human rights simply because you are an ex Muslim. Groups such as ours are formed not to destroy Islam, but to fight for the right to life that ex Muslims have as much as any other. So, I wanted to cover this because I keep up with a couple different Indian news organizations, and one of them that I follow is called the News Minute. And the News Minute did a giant written story that's part of a series documenting the rise of atheism and rationalism in South India. And they had a huge write-up, very lengthy, about Indian ex-Muslims, specifically in Kerala. It was so interesting. One of the people that was profiled in the article was Arif Hussein, who actually interviewed me on his channel. So, guys, you can go see my interview with Arif Hussein. I think his last name is Therafur? Theraf? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Yeah, I just love to see the ex-Muslim movement in India being highlighted more and being more light being shown on it. And the South India is really leading the way when it comes to the Indian ex-Muslim movement. So I love to see that celebrated. And it was really interesting to learn about the backgrounds of some of the people behind this organization and the specific issues that they faced. For example, they talk about like all the social costs that come with being ex-Muslim. And it was a good reminder to me how in different countries and communities, the social cost can be so much higher than what some of my friends in my personal life face. Because like even for example, like a lot of my Iranian friends, like they're non-religious, but like actually it's really cool to be an atheist. It's really cool. It's considered like cool to be an ex-Muslim. So there aren't really social costs that come with it. Of course, you have to be, if you're living in Iran, there's costs from the government, right? That's one thing. But like among your friends, among your family, it might not be that big of a deal for some people. But here they were talking about how it can cost you your relationship with your family. One woman, their whole family got together behind her back to tell even her grandma to not invite her into her house. So when she went to go visit her grandma was like, "Yeah, I can come see you, but you can't come inside. Like I'll come outside my house to talk to you. I won't even invite you in." Stuff like that.
Wow. Disgusting. Yeah. Islam, religion tearing families apart like it does usually.
And there's a huge cost to it because of Muslim personal law in India, at least the way that they were explaining it, is that if you decide to leave Islam, then like you lose like all your inheritance rights. You lose a lot of property rights, like all this stuff. So a lot of people are actively disincentivized from being public about how they feel from a legal angle as well. People lose their families, their wives, their kids. And also because Islamically, if one of your partners becomes a kafir, that marriage is instantly considered null. So
Right. So
yeah.
yeah, I really love the attitude they have, because there are some ex-Muslims, because India is such a hotbed for anti-Muslim bigotry. I am very proud of the ex-Muslim community, that especially a lot of them who have such a bad experience with Islam. I mean, they have all the things that could make somebody into an anti-Muslim bigot, and they end up not being anti-Muslim bigots. So I'm like really proud of this, ex-Muslims in India, because I've seen some ex-Muslims from India who because there's such a thirsty audience for anti-Muslim bigotry. So I've seen some ex-Muslims in India who try to take advantage of that, but most ex-Muslims that I've seen from India, they're not like that. So look at all the factors. They are in India. They have had such a bad experience with Islam. A lot of them, they are discriminated against because of Islam, and they also have a very bigoted Hindutva community there that is just ready to use them as an excuse to be promoting hatred towards Muslims. So that combination together, you would think like, okay, there will be a lot of ex-Muslims there that would just fall for that and just go with it, right? Especially how big of an audience they could just develop so fast. But then they come out and they are, they're not Muslims anymore. They left Islam, but they don't. But they also want to make sure that they are telling everybody that this is not an excuse to demonize Muslims. So I don't know, very proud of them. Very it's very amazing that they're doing what we do on the front lines, on places where it's more dangerous to do such things, and they take such balanced view, and are very careful not to also spread hatred. So it's, I don't know, I'm just so happy to see this. I'm very proud, and I'm also happy that you see these things, Susanna, to come and bring it to us and highlight it here. Like, I'm really
Yes, I
grateful that we
love
have you.
highlighting stuff like this. I'm like, it makes me so excited to see them raising their profile, right? And being so public, because that also helps grow the movement, right? There's probably like other
Right,
ex-Muslims in India who see this and like really admire what they're doing, even if they're not in the South and can't join or whatever. Um, they
right,
also have another group called the Non-Religious Citizens, called NRC for short. And the NRC is actually adopting like legal measures to try to combat male circumcision, like legally within their area, which is awesome because they're like, we don't see this as a religious issue. We see this as a human rights violation. And so we want to combat male circumcision. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about right here. So
right.
shouts out.
Also another, this news is also a reminder to people who think that because we point out some problems with India, we hate India. Okay, we don't hate India. Okay, we love India. That's why we love every country. That's why we point their problems of that country. You cannot love a country without being concerned about the problems that that country is having. But see, when good news happen in India, there are many things India, because we're talking about religion, unfortunately we have to highlight things that usually are a problem, because this is an atheist perspective, and usually religion brings problems. But Susanna is careful enough to have, whenever she finds a story that we could highlight, that it's a good story, that we could highlight something good is happening in a country, she jumps on it, because we want to try to bring you news that is good as well, not just news that is bad. And this is a good news out of India. This is a heartwarming news out of India. So thank you, Susie, for bringing us such news from India as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, something, a silver lining. Anyways, we did get it. Oh wait, were there comments that we need to highlight
There was a super
there? No.
chat.
Yes, we got a super chat.
We
Let's
got a
get
super
this.
chat. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Bud. Saying, hi, Armin. Hi, Susanna. Which Islamic or Muslim majority
Ooh.
country would you feel the most comfortable in if you had to spend a week over there for the holidays or on holiday? What about Malaysia, the UAE, Qatar, or Kuwait? I would only
Tunisia.
feel relatively comfortable in a country where I had some very, very good friends. And I'm not going to say what countries those are because one, they're my friends. I want to protect them. And two, I would love to visit them one day, and I don't want this on the radar. So
No. Okay, so but what if you had no friends in any of these countries? Then which one would you choose? I think Bud
Probably
is
Tunisia
trying
or
to figure,
Lebanon.
not Lebanon, Tunisia. Yeah. Again, we're only talking about safety for people who have been outspoken against Islam among Muslim countries. That is what we're trying to. I think that is what Bud is asking us to evaluate. I
Yeah.
think that's what Bud is asking. I think Bud is not asking about which one we have more friends in or which one. Like if it wasn't about safety, obviously the most I would be comfortable in would be Iran, right? Because, right. But we're talking about personal safety for people who have been very outspoken against Islam. I think the most comfortable one would be Tunisia. Again, I'm not
I
suggesting
mean,
people go there. If you're an ex-Muslim who has been outspoken against Islam and go to Tunisia and something happens to you, I haven't been recommending that. I'm just talking about a list of countries. Which one would be the least problematic? I think it would be Tunisia, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, in
Yeah.
Lebanon, they have open free thought atheist organizations. We have Lebanese atheist activists in Lebanon, you know.
Well, they don't call themselves atheist groups. They call it free thought. They call themselves free thought,
Yeah, but we all know it's
and
the
they.
same thing.
I know, but they haven't burned the Quran. I burned the Quran.
Yeah,
They haven't burned the Quran.
fair
If
enough.
I go to Lebanon, Hezbollah will probably kidnap me. Okay, there's a difference between having a group called Free Thought, group,
Yeah.
and being somebody that openly has blasphemed against the Quran. So I would not be comfortable in Lebanon.
Um,
Yeah. So guys, so when we evaluate this, we're not like when we're saying somewhere is not safe. It might be safe for an average atheist, okay, or an atheist that hasn't gone as done the things that we have, or said the things that we have. So when we are evaluating what is safe for us, that calculation might not apply for a different atheist. So you have to take that into account as well. Yeah.
yeah. Oxymoron just gave us a super chat saying, "Can you call out what secular people are doing in Bengal? That would be good criticism of your tribe that you identify with. If you provide information about this in the AR Discord news channel, and I can look into it, maybe I would think it's interesting enough for us to cover. But I don't know about this, so
Yeah.
you know where to recommend stuff. I
we
would.
have no
I'll take a look.
we have no problem calling out secular people. It's the people that would think that we have a problem calling out atheists or secularists or anybody else that you think is in our tribe. You have to have a very collective mindset or a tribal mindset to think that we're proud of actually going after our own, because that's how we get to brag about how non-tribal we are. So if we ever get an excuse to call out somebody that is on our side, we will take advantage of that, because we use it as a bragging right to show how self-critical we are about our movement. Yeah. So yeah, give us an excuse. Yeah.
We got another super chat from Asian American with references from the Mahabharata. I can never say it right. Mahabharata. There we go. Um, saying justice for Ekalava down with Drona Charva.
Okay.
Oxymoron, yes, you are on
Oh wait,
Discord. What are you talking about? Anyways.
justice for wait, I don't understand what, again, as always, I don't understand. You understood what Gaijin is saying? Because as long as one of us understands, that's good.
Yeah.
You do? Okay, good. Okay. All right, good.